All right, Anthony on Air podcast. We have a new allegation against Ghislaine Maxwell. Plus, we learn a little bit more about her predatorial procedures. The President of the United States tells us he has COVID-19. Plus, there is a new app in New York State that's pretty interesting. And Chrissy Teigen has ignited the internet with her latest announcement. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the podcast, which, of course, is brought to you by our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. Click the link in the description below to get some information on how you can get this awesome bar of soap and help our veterans and our current troops. More on them in a second. But Ghislaine Maxwell is back up at the top of our podcast here because a young lady by the name of Molly Sky Brown, who is now 42 years old, just came forward to tell her story about her interaction with Ghislaine Maxwell about when she was young, 14 to be exact. So when she was a 14-year-old girl. It's pretty astonishing to hear. Again, we kind of know all the things that happen, but then when you get into the weeds with these stories, you kind of put yourself into those situations and it really kind of freaks you out a bit. But Molly's story was she was 14 years old. She had done some modeling. She was into acting, pageants, all that kind of stuff. She worked at a gym in Palm Beach County, which is where Jeffrey Epstein had his Florida residence. And she was in the child care facility part of the gym. So, you know, when you go to the gym and you can drop off your kid and somebody will watch them. That's basically what
I don't like where this is going.
That's basically what she did. So she was in that gym and she worked there. And as one of the perks, they would give her a free membership. So she was on an elliptical machine and she was working out by the front window. You know, she was a 14-year-old girl. She describes herself as being half naked in an exercise outfit. She saw Ghislaine Maxwell walk by. Ghislaine went over to the front desk to have a conversation. She said that as she walked by, she looked me up and down, from the front, because she was working out in the front by the window. So she looked her up and down. She walked into the gym, went to the front desk, and she could hear Ghislaine saying that she wasn't going to be long, that she just wanted to talk to this girl. So it's not like Ghislaine was a member of the gym. She was walking by and happened to see this girl in the window. She walks toward Molly and she hands her a business card and she introduces herself and says she's a modeling scout and asks if she did any modeling. Molly responds, "I did." And Ghislaine says, "You have the look. How old are you?" So she says, "I'm 14." And Ghislaine's response is, "Oh my God, you look so much older. You could easily pass for 18. She said that she offered her work as a masseuse as well as a Victoria's Secret model. And then, so she goes, you could be a Victoria's Secret model. And she goes, "Well, I don't, she had this hip issue. So she's like, I can't walk down. I can't do the model walk, when they do that, walk where it looks like their hips are going to snap out of place, anyway. She has a hip.
That's a mystery to everyone.
She has a hip issue, so she can't do that. So she explained that to her. And basically Ghislaine was like, "Well, you can still do some things. And we have masseuse jobs and everything." She said that Maxwell painted a picture of international traveling, modeling, massages, and opportunities with Victoria's Secret. It was going in one ear and out the other, she told The Sun. "I've had reconstructive surgery, but my knees are dislocated. I limp. I've already been told by professional agencies that I was never a catwalk modeling material. I told Maxwell I really preferred acting, singing, and musical theater," she said. And Maxwell responded by saying, "If you change your mind, I have a lot of modeling opportunities for you." She also said, Molly Sky Brown, that a friend of hers worked up in the Orlando area at the Altamont Mall. And she said that she would see Ghislaine Maxwell coming up there all the time and speaking to young girls.
Creepy.
So creepy. So for a while,
Super.
I guess her job, or on and off, or from time to time, whatever, was just to roll around and just, it's almost creepy to say, but it's like window shopping. She she saw this girl.
A few things here. There's that gym for kids, why is there even a window that anybody walking by would just
No,
be
it's
able
not
to
a
look
gym
in?
for it's not a gym for kids. She worked in
It's
the
a section for it's a section, right? That
no. She worked for the gym in the child care. She worked for the gym. Had nothing to do like that was her
she
job.
worked there.
She was 14 years old, and her job for the gym, because people are going to be like, why? How does she have a job at 14? Her job was to watch the kids that got dropped off at the gym, and part of that.
Okay, so it was a child care area. Okay.
Part. She wasn't a child care area. Part of her job as a child care person was you get to work out of the gym too. So she happened to be working out of the gym when Ghislaine saw her in the front window and just came into the gym. And that was that. Are we caught up? Are you good there, Janine? Did I not say that clearly enough for Mr. Internet?
I got it.
Okay.
And I'm blonde. Frank still looks confused. Look at his face. Oh, there he goes.
All right, we'll wait for Frank to come back in. So that was basically that. But also this idea of like she was like a predator, like rolling around the Orlando area. You know,
looking for little girls.
Looking for little
Ew.
girls. And
how much did he pay her, really?
I don't know. But we talked about Les Wexner in the past being like one of the big parts of this puzzle, because we know that Epstein managed his money and did this whole thing. And here now is the other end of this story of like, I'm sorry. Here's now the other end of this story of like, she's rolling around with the business card.
Yeah, exactly. So come on.
What's that? Oh, you're a question mark. Sorry, Frank. Yeah, so it's like double, triple, quadruple creepy on all sorts of levels of like, not only did he scam Wexner out of money, and God knows whatever else he did with Wexner, and God knows what Wexner did. Again, this is all alleged, but it's also like they were using Victoria's Secret as part of this thing.
Creep.
And they had nothing to do with it, right?
No.
No, Les Wexner started Victoria's Secret. He was involved with Epstein. Who knows to what degree? That still hasn't been
said.
Yeah, I don't think
this guy's reach. He's got his hand or had his hands in every business, and he knows all these celebrities. Like, where does it end?
Yeah, but it paints you that picture of here she is walking down the street, sees somebody in the gym, goes like that's how crass she was. It just like there was no, limitation.
That is not. I'm assuming that's not how regular modeling agents approach.
I don't think so.
It'd probably go right up to the parents, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm sure people get spotted and it's like, wow, but I don't know. Like, I'm sure if that was a legit modeling agent, she would have handed the card to the girl and said, have your mom and dad give me a call.
Right.
If you're interested, but I think you could be a good model. Also, people are so desperate for those positions. They usually are the ones that are courting the agents, and the agents aren't really the ones out there finding the talent that way. So, but that's the latest on this story. As we continue to wait for that huge document dump, which in the next 2 weeks we think we will have. But yeah, that's Molly's story. 14 years old.
That's young.
Now, did she say anything else about She said how she was approached, but did she agree to any of it? Did she go along?
No, she did.
That was the last interaction with her.
That was their last interaction. That's Molly. That was their last interaction. She never went forward, but she said, I guess she shared the story, and her friend was in the Orlando area, Palm Beach, a little bit of a distance there, so it was like legitimately this. It was an operation. I mean, it's crazy. It's weird to see. Very, very creepy. Very, very creepy. She contacted the FBI about this a while ago, I believe up to a year ago. So probably around the time that Epstein was making headlines, she came forward and told the FBI, but she recently just told the newspapers, which I bring that up because we talk a lot about like, well, why isn't there this? And why haven't we seen this? And why hasn't this happened? It's because like, this stuff does take time. So she was willing to come forward about it. a while ago and not necessarily ready to talk to the news about it. And now I guess she was ready to talk to the news about it. So
Right.
Just glad she wasn't a victim. I mean, almost,
Right.
I guess, but that's too close.
The unfortunate part about her story is she actually was a victim, not of Epstein, though.
Oh.
So,
Oh God.
yeah.
Jeez.
The reason why she's talking about this is because she has her own podcast that is called Let's Be Frank, and I'll let people look that up if they're interested
It's
in
like
it.
you, Frank.
Just like you, Frankie. And she tells she talks about things, and
I have nothing to do with that podcast, by the way.
yeah, it's about childhood victims, and so that's the kind of work that she's doing now. So you guys can go check that out if you want to see that about Molly Sky Brown. Hero Soap Company. Talk about bad people. These are the exact opposite. These are wonderful, lovely people. Started by veterans that make their product here in the United States of America. This is the best soap that I have ever used in my entire life. They are so great. If you buy a bar of soap, they send a bar to a troop, and proceeds from every single purchase go towards building mortgage-free homes for veterans returning from service. So, I mean, you can't have a nicer thing. And on top of that, all their soap is made with natural products. I love the peppermint and cool because it actually literally tingles as I use it, which I do like, and it does feel like it's cooling me down.
Stop talking about the tingles.
I don't. This is the spearmint, but they have tons of different types of soap that you can check out. Again, click the link in the description below, or you can go to our website, anthonyonair.com, and click the banner there. It'll take you to the page. Reason why it's good to do that is we also get credit as a podcast, so you're also helping support the podcast by helping them. They do this other thing that I love, which is the subscription. So you could literally sign up and say, I want a bar of soap a month. I want 2 bars of soap a month, or you send me 2 bars of soap every 2 months. Whatever it is, you get to arrange the details exactly how you want. If you use the promo code Anthony, you get 20% off your subscription. So that's a great thing. I'm a big fan of that, by the way. Like, my whole entire life has been converted into subscription-based things. I don't want to think about
I like it.
They just show up at your door, and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to do this.
Yep. Deodorant, paper towels.
Oh, yeah, I need to use soap.
Vitamins. All my stuff is on subscription. It's all subscription. I don't want to think about it anymore. The idea of, oh my God, I need soap, or I need this, or I need that, is such a waste of time. It is such a huge waste of time.
Running out to the store for one thing, it really just kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
You're there.
This.
Yeah, you can get a million things while you're there, but no, you just need the one thing. You look around and go, I don't need anything else. It's annoying.
It's very, very annoying. By the way, we have a QR code now, which I'm flashing on the screen. So our Facebook and YouTubers, if you open up your phone and you just open up the camera app and put it on the screen there, it'll take you right to our link. So that'll be a cool thing for everybody. Yeah, just open up your phone and grab that camera app. Just hold it up. Boom. And you'll go right to check out
will you?
Hero Soap Company's website. What'd you say, Frank? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, hold it still, will you?
It was good.
That's what she said.
We're covered. Second topic, huge news. Learned about this at 1:00 in the morning when he tweeted about it. But President Trump and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID-19.
Damn.
Yep. Hey, it's just a matter of time if you're not going to take the precautions. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, Frank.
It's terrible. It sucks. It's not a disease you want to wish on anybody. It's not a good thing to get.
I'm going to speculate.
Especially if you're,
I'm going to speculate
if you're
here.
over 70. I mean, what is he, 73, 74 years old?
I think he's 74.
Yeah, and I'm sure not in the greatest health. He's a little overweight. He's eating cheeseburgers all the time. It's not a good disease to get if you're not in very good shape and younger.
I'm going to speculate here for a second, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I was surprised that she got it, that they both got it. That was surprising.
She doesn't go anywhere near him.
It is my theory, and by the way, this is not an uncommon thing between presidents and first ladies that they grow estranged during their time in the White House. Michelle Obama
About before the time.
spoke openly. Well, I don't know about that, but Michelle Obama spoke about her getting tired of the whole first lady thing and not wanting to do it anymore and kind of withdrawing and all that kind of stuff. I get that feeling. We've heard rumblings. There's obviously been rumors. They're not been confirmed as of yet. She is always with him. But the reason why I bring this up is post debate. If you watch the end of the debate, when they let the families on the stage, she came up
Yeah,
first.
it's crystal clear.
Before, who's Joe's? Jill? Is it Jill?
Jill.
Yeah. She comes up on the stage first before Jill, and they walk up to each other, and he kind of awkwardly rubs her shoulder.
Yeah.
And then she stands next to him, and that's it. And then like Joe and Jill like have this. This is not a competition. It's not like who could show more affection on stage.
No.
I just thought it was a little odd. I don't know. Man, whenever I see my
You and the
wife,
rest of the country.
whenever I see my wife, there's a hug or a kiss or there's something. I don't just like awkwardly stroke her shoulder from a.
Yeah.
No, not at all,
especially
like this.
after a huge event. If there's a big
Huge.
event of your life, you're giving a speech, you're doing whatever. It's a hug and kiss. It's something.
Maybe she doesn't like public displays of affection.
And there's a lot of people who don't.
There's a lot of people who don't. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe these are totally unfounded, and she's just not the type that's going to run up to you and give you a hug and a kiss. That's entirely possible.
That could be.
I'll just say this.
Go ahead, Janine.
I have friends. They're a couple. I have never seen them kiss or even hug in my company. And I've known them probably, how old am I? 20 years? 20 years.
Have you ever seen
I'm
them
not
hold
kidding
hands?
you. Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. Nothing at all.
Are they
So-
And
happy?
I'm always, but like they don't even like touch each other at all.
Is anybody happy?
I'm happy. I'm very
It's no one
happy.
in our group, obviously, because I don't know you guys 20 years, but it's just a couple that I know. Like they just don't touch each other.
Yeah.
They don't kiss each other.
It is entirely possible that, and they probably have great marriages. It's entirely possible that everything is going smooth between the two of them. But even still, I just thought that awkward like little thing. They didn't look like
Yeah,
the
it's
type that
awkward.
would be snuggling up next to each other close enough to get this to begin with, But
I get what you're saying.
But there's got to be advisors, that are telling them, you could show a little more affection with each other, be a little more family driven, and look like you're happier. Aren't there people telling the president this?
I'm sure.
Maybe.
But it also could be a lie that she has it.
That
They want
Melania
to make
has
it appear. Yeah, it could make it appear that like
we have made it into the
together all the
conspiracy
time,
theory portion of this episode.
There we go.
There we
Here we
go.
go. Sorry, I didn't mean to go into that because there's already a lot. There's a lot of people are saying that he doesn't really have it, and
Well,
in
she's
2
at
weeks he's
least
going to
as
come
close-
out and say,
She's
I
at
beat it.
least as close to him as Hope Hicks is. Because
She might be closer.
assuming that's how he got it.
"Who knows how he
Because
got it?" Right?
Well, no.
Who knows?
No,
He
that-
got
chances
it.
are it's someone close to him.
That's
So
we're not going to know for a while. Probably she was the first. Hope Hicks was the first to test positive for it. Doesn't necessarily mean that she brought it to that little group there. Could have came from.
you never know.
Could have. We won't really know. But there
Definitely
is
came
a
from Biden. Go ahead.
there is a tweet. There is a tweet circulating which is so funny about the internet, which goes back to last podcast episode. I talked about exactly this, that when you have a debate and you invite people to ask the questions, it's a false sense of security because those questions would have come about anyway. It's just BS when you go, oh, you can ask the question. Oh, Mary from Wisconsin has this question. Mary from Wisconsin, along with 500,000 other people, have the same exact question. It's an
exact question.
These are natural questions. So when people will repost tweets that people have tweeted in the past, and they're like, look, so there's a tweet that's going around today of a guy who tweeted like back in September, that he put it out clear as day. He said Donald Trump will get COVID just before the election. He'll miraculously recover, come back 100%, and come back for the election and win the election. And people are like passing it around, and they're like circling the date and everything. And it's like when everybody in the world can tweet something, you're going to naturally predict things before they happen, because everybody says so much crazy stuff. There's no way, it's not like there's any
that it can't happen.
Right. There's no consequence to putting something out on social media. So it's like a clock being right twice, a broken clock being right twice a day. You're going to come.
Probably a tweet out there saying he won't get COVID and then he'll get it. There's a tweet for everything, is my point.
There was one that said Biden was going to get it and not be able to do any of the debates.
Yeah.
So
people are saying that this is an excuse for Trump not to do another debate.
So I
think he likes
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of people are saying that too. And I actually disagree with that wholeheartedly, because I think he, a smidge more than Biden, but Biden too, need to have another debate, because that first one is not the impression you want to leave on people.
No, not at all.
Right? Like
I think he doesn't want to do worse. My opinion.
I don't know. I think you need to go back in there and
he's gonna
give everybody a better look at the leadership of what our country is going to be like for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what happened.
I think, what more could he tell us?
He just needs to have a better look.
Yeah.
Is there one?
No, but Frank, they both need a better look. That is not the impression.
But my point is, you put the both of them on the stage, it could be better or it could be worse. I mean, it's not like you're going to put them on the stage and here's the better one.
Yep.
What if it happens that it's a shouting match and it's more embarrassing than the first one was?
Nah, I don't think that's possible.
I don't. Yeah, I like
anything's possible. I haven't ruled anything out this year.
No, but
that's debatable.
I'm just saying,
exactly.
That's debatable. I'm just saying they need to give it a better. They got to go out and do better this time. Both of them.
They do.
And they will. I think they will have another debate. Yeah. They might cancel their second one, but I think they will definitely have it. So here's what happened. So the debate was Tuesday, which makes me think that it's. By the way, Biden is being tested at the time we're recording this. I don't know if I'm going to look it up right now.
He's negative.
He's negative. Yeah.
He's negative. Okay, because the last I heard he was going to get tested. I'm surprised that he's negative, because Wednesday Trump falls asleep on Air Force One. They learned about Hope Hicks on Thursday. Trump still went ahead and went to a in-person fundraiser at Bedminster in New Jersey at one of his golf courses. At the event, people said he seemed lethargic. Then he started developing cold-like symptoms, and that's when he got the test, and it was confirmed. So I guess it was the way they're reporting that he fell asleep on Air Force One. I guess that's a rarity that he will fall asleep on the plane, on the flight. So I guess he doesn't fall asleep on the flight that often, which is kind of a miracle, because I love a good plane sleep. There's nothing like the.
That's true. The hell else is there to do?
Oh my God, so good. When you just fall asleep and then you wake up and you're there, it's like time travel.
You're like, oh, great.
Magnificent.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
It is magnificent. So yeah, both him and her have it. They say his symptoms are mild and that he's still able to run the country. I always kind of love stuff like this. I like nerded out and like went back and read the whole thing about who becomes president. He can actually execute and let Mike Pence become president for a while if he so chose. Obviously, if he got to a point where he couldn't, they could just make that move without him and Pence would become next. Before Pence is negative too, but before that they were like, if it wasn't Pence, then it would go to, I think Nancy Pelosi is next in line.
God help us. I'm sorry,
Hey,
but she is the creep show character.
And then it goes
yeah.
to
Trump's a looker.
what's super
Well,
interesting
he's
though.
not, but
What's super interesting about our country is it starts after the vice president and the speaker of the house. It starts to go to a whole slew of people that never were voted into position. It starts to go to cabinet
really?
people. Yeah. It
Really?
goes to the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Treasury. It goes to all the cabinet positions.
Yeah, down the chain of command.
Yeah.
There's like the general, or joint chiefs, or something. There's a bunch of.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting though. So that's that. I'll ask you, and maybe I should ask Janine this though.
oh god,
I don't know if this is like damaging. I don't think that the Trump supporters change one iota on this one, but for the undecided people, you think this impacts them at all? Like
no.
you don't think so?
Why couldn't you ask me on this one?
Because I already know your answer.
He thinks I'm a huge Trump supporter.
No, I don't think you're a huge Trump supporter, but I already know Frank's answer.
Yeah, exactly. Which is going to be
What's my
absolutely
answer?
not. Absolutely, I mean.
That it would change.
Absolutely. Maybe some people, because it's another. He says one thing, it hardly affects anybody, is what he said a few weeks ago. After 200,000 people died, he said it hardly affects anybody, and now he has it. Doesn't that should hopefully strike a chord with some people who are on the fence?
But I
That's
could
all
see
I'm
how he
saying.
would get it, though. He's
Exactly,
in
that's
contact
how
with so many
anybody would get
people.
it.
Well, right.
If you don't treat it the way you're supposed to treat it, and you go about your life and you interact with people, that's how it spreads. So, and
Wear your
that's
mask.
what he was doing,
Yeah.
and that's how he got it. That's the end of story. I mean, it's very simple. I don't. He hasn't been saying that. He's been going to his rallies. He's been having people standing shoulder to shoulder, no masks, and that's it's unfortunate, but that's how you get it. That's very simple.
I also think
And
that
all I'll
it's.
say is, yeah, go ahead.
I also think that it is strange that he tweeted that they tested positive for COVID at 1 a.m. in the morning. So he was still up at 1 a.m., which is kind of difficult to do when you're not feeling great. And has not tweeted since. So we're in this now. Me in particular, I'm on a clock now where I'm like, how long is he going to let it go until he picks that phone back up?
Right.
And talks to us again, because if you look over the course of his tweeting history, he does not let too much time go by
Not at all. Right.
without sending out a tweet. And this is an easy one too, because anybody can grab this and just tweet out, and like anybody on his staff could be like, hey, everybody, doing okay,
Right.
things are
Just
good.
a little something.
Yeah, so now
Update.
people are saying that he's in good spirits. There's not a ton of updates, but they're saying he's energetic, and everything is fine, But again, the conspiracy theory people are going to start to be like, well, where's his Twitter? Well, where's this? Why can't we see him? Why can't
I've seen he's gone like 24 hours. He's gone a little while without tweeting in the past.
Yeah.
Like if he's traveling, if he's overseas, whatever it is, he's gone a while without tweeting. I don't think it's a huge deal that he hasn't tweeted.
No, it's
Well,
not.
we'll see.
It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge
But
deal.
man, people are. I don't even know the word. Scrolling through my Facebook feed today, people wishing him death.
No, that's wrong. That's
Yeah,
That's okay.
that's too far.
some
calm down.
people are crazy. People are like they're so obsessed with getting rid of this guy that they
Right.
would go that far to wish death on. Yeah.
The only person you should wish death on is maybe the boy that used to bother you in 5th grade. That's it.
You saying that, Janine?
I'm looking
'Cause
at you, Frank.
the boy that bothered you in
I-
5th grade is
Not
within
me.
earshot of you right now.
No,
Who also
no.
happens to be your
That's
husband.
That's a total.
Did you marry the
different-
boy that bothered you in 5th
No,
grade?
no. I met him after 7th grade, so no.
Oh, okay.
That was close though.
No, it's true. You shouldn't. I was more wondering, like, I wonder for the people that are like on the fence, that are like, I don't know what to believe. Is this COVID not that big of a deal? Is it a big deal? Is it this or is it that? Well, he keeps on saying and he's going here and he's going that. I wonder if they're going to be like, well, this is weird. I also will say it does weird me out a little bit that the powers that be could not keep the president of the United States away from this. Now, maybe they couldn't because he refused to sort of take any kind of...
You can't keep him from doing anything. He's going to tell everybody what he wants to do, and then they have to do it.
I mean, I guess so, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It just seems a little like everybody.
Like, what else? 2020. What else?
Like everybody that went to the White House had to be tested, and everybody that he did one-on-one interviews had to be tested, and they had to get it cleared first, and there was like so many procedural things in place that I kind of felt like he's never going to get it because the machine, the thing around him will not allow the procedures and it won't allow it to happen.
No.
But that's, you know what it is? When everybody around you, when you and the people you're around constantly don't believe in this thing, or don't believe it's a big deal, or don't believe it affects everybody, or don't believe it's a big threat, then it's going to get you. It's if you're not taking all the precautions, wearing masks, social distancing, washing your hands, all that stuff, then it's only a matter of time. That's all I'm saying.
By the way, this episode will most likely be demonetized. So if you'd like to help us out here, we're going to put a monetized episode in the link in the description or in one of the cards. So if you can just click on that at the end of the episode and just watch an ad for us, that would be great. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to do that and you'd like to watch on YouTube, that would just be phenomenal if you could do that. Also, if you're on Facebook or you're listening, it'll always be great if you to go over to our YouTube channel and watch an ad or two. That certainly we certainly do appreciate that, and that certainly goes a long way for helping us put on the podcast for sure. I also was surprised at how the world reacted. Like the market started to slump, and
like, come on.
I mean, it's crazy to think, but what happens to the president of the United States is it's significant in the world. You kind of forget that until something like this happens, and then you're like, wow, holy cow.
It's a big deal. I mean, that's the well-being of the president is something that, affects all the leaders and everybody he's interacted with. And it starts a chain reaction. Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of which, tell me, I actually don't know much about this, but there's a new app now that New York State has put out for contact tracing.
Yes. Do you want to, Janine, or?
No, you do it.
Okay. It's an app that, let's see, the Cuomo, I believe, put out.
What is it called? Stalk Your Life?
Probably Stalk Your Life.
1984.
I'll read the post that he put up on social media, Governor Cuomo. New York just launched COVID Alert NY, an exposure app that will alert you if you were in contact with someone who has COVID. The app will never track your location and is completely anonymous. Protect your community, yourself, and your privacy. Download the app today.
Now,
so what's the idea here?
How are they going to do this?
I download the app. I have it on my phone, and that's it. It does its trick.
It tells you. I mean, I guess anybody who has COVID, they'll probably put into they'll put their location into the app or put their town or wherever they were are infected. I don't know.
Go ahead, Janine. You had a question.
I haven't downloaded it, but go ahead.
But didn't it just say that it's not going to share your location?
That's what the tweet said, or whatever it is. Let me see.
So I could speak to this part of it. So with
we'll never track your location.
With apps, you can pinpoint down to what room in your house you're in.
Yeah.
Or you can have a general, you could be in the general geofence of you're in Suffolk County, you're in Nassau County, you're in Wisconsin, you're in Georgia, whatever. So they could do that. They can choose to show how much of that you can choose to show how much of that is actually happening. There's this massive discussion right now over privacy, and Apple is actually sort of leading the way. And for anybody who has an iPhone, and if you've downloaded iOS 14, you've seen some of these measures already get put in place where now you can choose what gets shown to an app, which is different.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, which is different from, oh, you're signing up for Facebook. Do you want to share all your stuff? Do you agree to our terms of service? That's 14,000 pages long that nobody ever reads. And you click it and you go, yeah, sure. I want to see what my ex-girlfriend's doing. So I got, get in there really quick, and you click OK. And then before you know it, you've given everything over to Facebook. Now, Apple is taking a bigger role in this. And the reason being is because although, yes, you are agreeing with apps and app providers for things, you're making those agreements on this device. And so what Apple is doing is they're saying, well, we're going to take a bigger hand in what happens on our device. So that was some of the things that's starting to get put into place. I don't know about this app, but I know that there was a big discussion in the beginning of the pandemic about this because both Apple and Google, Samsung, all the makers of these phones do have the ability to track you with GPS and not only see where you are, but see where you've been. Like they can record those things. And so this idea of like, I can see where you were, and if somebody else is in the same thing, they can see where they are. And if we know that they were COVID positive at the time, now we can confirm that you were exposed to whatever. This is a similar thing, by the way, that the NFL has instituted. If you look at most of the players in the NFL, they'll have like a little thing on or like a wristband, or they're doing this in Hollywood too on film productions. So it'll like beep when you're getting too close to somebody, or it'll vibrate or whatever, but it also keeps track of who you've come in contact with. Because if the quarterback came in contact with the general manager's secretary and she tests positive, now we know that we have to test the quarterback and see if he, because we know they've come into contact. Go ahead, Frank.
Right. Well, looking at the app in the Google store, it says it alerts you if a sick person spends 10 minutes or more within 6 feet of you, because this puts you at a higher risk, blah, 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 which causes COVID. It says it does not reveal your identity to anyone. Keeps a private log of your own symptoms if you want to do that, and it also provides important resources and help if you are exposed or test positive. So it's not just a tracking app; it also gives you information and resources.
Well, here's the thing with that too. A person could lie and say they had it.
I think the people who I think it's if you are. You can't upload your own, I can't go on and say I had it. I think someone who gets it and reports it, the people who, I think that the people who run the app put you in there.
Oh, okay. So like if you're sick, they'll upload your information.
They'll say you had COVID and you were in these places and you were connected with this person for 10 minutes, etc.
Okay. We'll see, because I'm going to download it.
So, all right.
Go for it.
On the one hand, like when I first heard about this, I'm like, this is kind of genius, and it's going to help stop this spread right away, because you can tell and identify, and you can make sure that people aren't, you can make sure if somebody has it that you don't go near that person, or it'll ID, whatever it is. Using technology to fight this virus is a smart thing.
Right.
It's super smart. It's something that they didn't have in 1919 that we have now, which is unbelievable. The problem is, and this is where a lot of the conspiracy people will come in, is do you want to give the government this sort of access to you all the time?
You already have it. They already have
exactly.
it. I mean,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Frank.
In my opinion.
But not even the government. Before you even get there, not even the government. Also, how is this being run? Because like we talked about with Apple, there's two ways of doing things. There's encrypted and non-encrypted. Right. Facebook and a lot of these things, this is not encrypted information. This is easily hackable. you can get in. God knows what you can find out, and so you're letting that door sort of open if you do something like this.
Well, yeah, it's also if you download any game or any app. I mean, how many apps do you have on your phone that you have to enter your information? Do you look into the background of every one of those?
No, you're right.
No.
This is just another one, and it happens to be run by the government. I mean, if they're not forcing you to download it, you don't have to download it. I'm not saying I totally 100% on board with this app. I don't know if it works. I don't know how it works, really.
But a lot of people will say, if we give them access to our medical records and our location and all this and that, now, what are they going to do with that in the future? How is that going to be used in a poor way in the future?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they're not asking for. I don't think they're asking for your social security or anything. They're just saying if you feel symptoms. But
how long until another big viral contagion thing? How long until, like, let's say everybody was honky dory with this and went along with it? How long until we're going, well, let's use this for AIDS. Let's use this for this or that. How long until that?
No, it's the only thing is you're not forced to do it, which is good.
Of course, yeah.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, you don't have to download this. You don't have to put your information in it. It's an option. Do I agree with it? I don't know. I mean, it's an app that helps you track people, or the virus around you.
But the idea is it really only works. It really only works when everybody is using it. Is really that's the way.
Oh yeah.
That's how you get it.
Yeah,
that's how you fight. Everybody's got to have it, and everybody's got to be using it. I do think it's a great thing.
That's not true. That's not true. If someone has it, they don't have the app, but they have COVID, and they test positive, and their information is given to the. Once you test positive for COVID, they have to report that to the CDC or to, I don't know who it is now, but to the Department of Health, I believe. And then the Department of Health, who runs the app, enters it in. So if you have the app, but let's say Janine doesn't, but Janine, God forbid, she gets COVID, they would enter Janine into the app.
And so they would know if I went to her house or something? Like how would they know I had an interaction with Janine?
If you have your phone on you, your phone
maybe
would
alert
be
you
in close proximity to her phone, and it would tell you if you've been in contact with anybody that had it.
So, but Janine, how is that possible? Because Janine never okayed or agreed to take part in this.
Well, it's wait a minute, hold on. I don't know. I didn't read the full background of it, but it's if Janine tested positive, they would take her information and say there's a person within 10 feet of you, because it affects you too. It affects your health. There's a person that you've been in contact with that had it.
So did you?
It's probably all. They probably wouldn't say it was Janine.
Yeah.
They would just let you know that you were in contact. Get yourself tested.
Do you think we can pull this off in good faith? Like
Mm-hmm.
download this app, use it, then get rid of it? Like would that put
way.
I hope.
Would that put people's
like the Batman thing?
Would that put people's mind at ease if you are in total control of the app, where you can just get rid of it if when the time comes? Because I think a lot of people are having trouble with government stepping in and mandating things, and with the worry that they'll never give it back. And I'm what's so interesting about this is 9/11 has come up a billion times, and we've all seen what kind of happened with the Patriot Act and everything else. And here we are now, 19 years removed from that event, and a lot of people are like, "Wow, the Patriot Act was not a great thing." It's
true.
So.
Well.
Yeah, I mean this app, it says in big bold letters in the paragraph, it says it will not reveal your identity.
See, and that's
I think it would just tell you that you've been in contact. That's all. I think. I didn't make the app. I have nothing to do with the app. I read a few paragraphs, so I'm going off of that.
What's going to happen? You're going to be strolling down the supermarket aisle. and there's going to be 5 people in the aisle. 4 people's
Okay.
phones start going off.
It's
That
not,
one
no, no, no. It's-
person, whose phone doesn't go off, you're going to be running for them?
No, they're not. It's not going to tell you. You're not going to know who it is because number one, it tells you if you've been in contact with them for more than if you've been within 6 feet of them for more than 10 minutes.
Okay, you're waiting online for your cold cuts, and it's taking a
Okay.
long time.
A lot of these examples are in a supermarket. Why is that?
Where the hell else are we going?
Exactly right. Or you're in a restaurant.
But like,
Let me answer Janine's
know.
question. I don't think it's I don't think it's meant to stop you from getting
shopping.
it. No.
Oh,
No, it's to test.
put down
you.
the
It's
iced
to-
tea.
It's not meant to
To
stop
know
you
if you
from
have
getting it. It's meant to stop the spread, which means that if you're okay and you haven't been leaving the house and whatever and you're fine, great. But if you do go out and you do come in contact and you might have it, well then get tested right away so that then you know whether or not if you have to stay home or not.
So then you can quarantine yourself and stop
Right.
spreading it.
Right. Because if
Oh
you
God,
if
this
you
just gives me a headache.
it does, but if you don't get if you didn't get that notification of hey you've been in contact with somebody who has it, you would just go on your normal life, and what would you do? Spread it to your husband, spread it to your mom, spread it to your brother-in-law, whatever it is, whoever, your sister, your cousin, whatever it is, you would spread it. So that's the idea
okay.
of this app.
I get it.
It's not to
No.
stop
Heads
each
up.
person from getting it. It's pull out, look at everybody. How do you stop it? The spread overall, and that's basically how you stop it. So that's why technology is good. But I will say, people who are concerned about giving this information over to the government are right to be concerned. I just think that we can do a better job. The Apples, the Googles, all of them of the world need to do a better job at encrypting and protecting this information so that people can do these things and execute them in the right way. That's my
Agreed.
basic point. We need to do a better job technology-wise over the tech sector. And the government has not been doing that, and they're way behind. But this is a discussion for another day because we're going to get into the social dilemma, and Frank is going to, on the podcast, promise to watch this brilliant documentary on Netflix so that we can cover it one day on this in the future.
Is he?
Are you ready to commit to that, Frank?
See, the way you describe this thing to me is it's about what's going on in the world and how we got here, or something. Is that, I don't remember the exact word you used, but my answer was, I had enough of what's going on in the world.
All right.
I know what's happening. And is this
I'm
gonna
willing to
tell me
say-
more than-
I'm willing to say
than
that
what I
I've-
know already.
I'm willing to say that I failed in my description. I think even
You
Janine
did.
disagreed with
You-
my
you failed
description.
Okay.
I just think
You
you'll
did.
find it so fascinating, and it would be such a great podcast. You'll be like, Aunt, you were an idiot in how you described that. But I'm glad I watched it. Now let's talk about it because I think it's endlessly fascinating.
Yeah, right.
It is.
You watch it over the weekend. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, right.
Do I have to promise that?
What?
It's
Fine,
a good.
fine.
You're in?
Yeah, I guess I'm in.
Sweet. All right.
How
So-
long is it? Is it like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's like an hour and what? Hour and 20? Hour and 15?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
It's not that long.
All right. It's not like a 7-part miniseries, right?
No.
All right, so coming
Okay,
soon, Social Dilemma episode on the podcast, so everybody has the opportunity to watch it on their own if they want to take a look at it. And we're also going to do the Humans of New York thing. I've designated some time this weekend. I'm going to read the whole story, and we're going to do that extra podcast. Definitely with Janine. Frank will actually, we didn't finish that, but we'll talk about it with Frank. So we'll get into that. Final topic of the night. Don't forget to visit the anthonyonair.com store to get some of our sweet merch. I've been drinking out of the official mug. Lots of vodka and tequila and whiskey fits. Every liquor, we did a test on the inside. Every alcohol fits in the mug really, really well.
Everyone.
So, yeah.
That's good. That's good to know.
Keep that in mind. And plus, we got some of our cool swaggy shirts that are made of the softest, most nice material. There's our Show Me Potato Salad shirt. And of course, you can get our logo shirts as well. That's all at anthonyonair.com. All right, Janine, you want to talk about Chrissy Teigen?
Yes. Do you want to like go into it or do you want me to?
You go. You got it.
Okay, so was it yesterday? It was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The night before, she shared that her third baby had died.
Yes.
Now, I use those words because saying lost a baby, saying pregnancy loss, and any of those terms is pretty upsetting. I will share that I actually, my daughter was stillborn at 36 weeks 3 years ago. And with, like, I'd say probably 6 or 8 hours after the news, after Chrissy Teigen shared it all, I went to go read some of the comments. And honestly, they were pretty terrible.
Have you learned yet that comments are never good?
No, they're not. I just keep going in for more and more.
There's always negative, no matter what you post. There's always negative.
So I think like a lot of people were not happy that she shared this.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought it was like too much information. She shared pictures of herself in the hospital. One of them was getting an epidural. Another one was just her and John holding the baby. And obviously the internet trolls came out, but I feel like it was very important that she shared this. One is that this does not discriminate against anyone. If you're a celebrity or not, this can happen to you. The second part is, I think just sharing it makes it less of a taboo subject, especially from a celebrity, because it is such a taboo subject that you need to talk about it. So me personally, I felt attacked myself on the comments because you guys know, and I've been open with you since it happened. I was very open about it on social media as well. So like I shouldn't take those comments towards me, but it's just natural reaction.
No, of course.
But yeah, it just like made me go on to read articles about like other celebrities sharing news. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think about it, but
I'm with most of the commenters, to be honest with you.
no, you're not.
You dick.
No. It's funny because Hilaria Baldwin, prior to the baby she just had, she also had a miscarriage. And
she actually had 2 losses. I don't want to say loss, but
That's right. Well, was it 2 in a row or was it 2?
It was 2 in a row.
It was 2 in a row. And I remember her getting a lot of blowback for that.
Yep.
For like sharing it. And what was crazy about hers? She posted a picture of herself and she was like, I'm having a miscarriage right now. And that blew me away because I was like, Jesus, like
that's an impact. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I believe,
the idea that it was happening to her at that moment and she chose to share, I was like, that knocked me off on my ass for a little bit. But I also thought it was incredibly brave of her to do that, because like you said, but that was her second one, I think, that she had shared. And I think that's why. Like, I think that's why she chose to grab that phone and put it out there at that moment, because like you said, people need to talk about this because when you don't talk about it, it becomes taboo. But this is, and again, let me bring in everybody here who hasn't been what you've been through, just to kind of put this on it. A lot of people love to just hate on celebs for everything that they do. And
it's true.
A lot of that comes from they haven't been through it themselves, Right. So I haven't read the comments on this, but I'm sure attention seeking, whatever was
exactly. That was like the main thing that she was out there looking for attention, and it's like,
Looking for press
but
on it. It's like,
yeah, I'm sorry, but putting out the worst moment of your life is not gonna. It's not attention seeking.
Right.
it's not the attention you really crave.
No, no,
And a lot of people
and
that are angry and whatever, like that's the first thing. So whatever celebrity it is and whatever that they're putting out at the moment, they'll lash out at them. But you know,
yes,
there are times where these things, these conversations are necessary to have when these people go through this stuff, and you know, they're people too, and if sharing it will help, that's why they're doing
exactly,
it.
Yeah,
exactly,
bringing more attention to it can only be good.
right,
The more information that's out there, the more attention it will get, and the more help that people going through this
But
might
even
exactly.
but even Janine, you went through this like you said personally yourself. Didn't you feel like the more you talked about it, the
Oh
more you
yes,
did about it after the fact?
yes.
It
I felt like I had to. Like there
I
was no
can't
doubt in my mind.
imagine. But
Wait, I didn't get you
I
there.
can't imagine if you. Sorry, I was just gonna say I can't imagine if you never told anyone, if you never brought it up. You know, I would not have been as informed or aware of
Right,
what goes on, and you know, I never would have heard anything about.
right. Like I'm sure you guys don't know. Well, you do know because of me. But October is Pregnancy and Loss Awareness Month.
October is?
October is, yeah. So for her to bring it up and like post this news yesterday, like in the lost mom community, as we call it, it was a big deal.
Why did you do this?
I don't know. Not even sure because it's true, but you know,
You're part of a community, Janine. Be proud of it.
right.
Like I'm a part of the handsome man community. These are just we each got our things.
And Frank is still confused.
Frank's part of the I don't know how to pay for decent internet
Right.
community.
Right. So I was also reading something else that said, like, I'm not sure why she felt the need to share. And one thing about her, I don't know if you follow her or not, she is an oversharer.
Mhm.
She's always on that Instagram, she's always on that Twitter, saying what she's eating, of course, what's going on, what's happening. So a few days ago, she posted that she was in the hospital. So we knew things were going to happen. So to not just say anything, you can't do that.
Right.
I mean, even me, I'm not a celebrity. Well, in my eyes, I am. But I had to post something. There
Mhm.
was no way I couldn't. And I'm not a celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, because also like you when you go through something like that, whenever you go through anything that you're not accustomed to in life, the first thing you start to do is be like,
Look,
is this only me? Does this happen to other
right,
people? Like, is there,
right. And like Frank said, I think I informed you guys a lot about stuff that you didn't know about that, right?
a ton, a ton.
Like the biggest thing is it happens to 1 out of 160 women.
Hmm.
Stillbirth does. And 1 out of 4 women experience loss.
Which that's an
So
insane number.
insane number. Insane. And even after I shared, I can't tell you how many women messaged me, even some men, and said this something like this happened to someone in their family, someone that they knew.
Hmm.
So I was glad for that.
Yeah, because
That they shared.
and that's the thing. You don't build a community, you don't build a support system unless you share, unless you talk about,
Exactly.
what happened to you.
Right.
So,
I think Frank's trying to get back in.
what was the worst thing that you read that like just did you respond to anybody?
No, I actually was like, step away. One thing I was like, she's pro-choice, And they were saying like, this happened to you because you're pro-choice.
Oh God.
And I'm like, are you kidding me, people? Like, what hole did you just crawl out from? Yeah, no. Just horrible things. And that's what sucks about the internet, is that you can't delete the bad ones.
That's what. Yeah. And right.
Right. With the good comes the bad.
With the good comes the bad, and the
It
bad
does.
in these instances are like all. There's a lot of bad.
Yes.
There's a lot
Yep.
of like horrible.
And since she shared the news, she hasn't been on at all.
Do you still talk to people? Because not only so, like my aunt. This happened to my aunt. I've known a few people, like ancillary people. Not to call my aunt ancillary, but I was, like one at the time, but I would say I'm the closest to you out of people that I know that this happened to you. And so I got to meet a bunch of people through events and stuff like that. Do you still talk to people? Do you keep up with people? Are you active?
I am. Can I mention the foundation that I'm with or no?
No.
Okay.
Of course, we'll put links in. We'll put links out.
Yes.
We should do a whole
So
thing.
I work with this foundation, and I'm actually the New York City metro area chair. If there is someone who fills out something on the website who has experienced a loss, I'll go and email them what services we offer. I'll speak to them. It's sad to say, but there's people who know what happened to me and have said, this just happened to someone I know. Can you speak to them? Can you talk to them?
Mm-hmm.
So I do. And for the last 3 years, obviously, I've held a walk with a fundraiser, which you DJ that. Unfortunately, this year is all virtual.
Don't I do a really good job at that though?
You do. Like, everybody loves you.
I know, it's so hard. It's hard. It's so hard to be this talented because you don't want to outshine what you're there for, but
right.
Your natural
but it's like, how can you not do that?
I know. So I'm sorry for that. No, but I got to say, we got to talk to other couples and everything, and it was really, it was an eye-opening experience because, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really know if I would care about this if it didn't, happen to you. Like it's that it happened to you that has had such a big impact. It happens every day, and it didn't. People are busy with their lives; they're doing their things.
Right.
But
because I think probably because it was like, it made it real for you.
Yeah.
And like, that's what my friends
a little closer to home.
They're like, wait a minute, this happened to you?
Yes. And then when you throw that number out there, you throw that number out there and you're
2017 that it happened, but still, like, the stillbirth rate has not changed in 50 years.
That's crazy.
That's a fact that makes you go, wait, what?
Yeah.
So, I said, it can happen to celebrities. So,
because don't you feel like it's, lack of a better term, been normalized? Like that kind of thing happens, like miscarriages.
Miscarriages, yes. Not such late stillbirths.
Right.
Like, it is more normalized, definitely. But it happens more than you think with stillbirths. I mean, like, later, second term, third term ones.
Because I feel like...
Yeah, I think a big... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like they almost prep you for it. Because I remember when my wife and I, we were kind of like starting the process. They were like, you're high risk. You're a little old, which I always laughed at because I was like, old,
right?
Like she was, whatever she was. It doesn't matter. It's not important that I don't know how old she is.
Good move.
Or how old she was then. Point is this: it was not that old. It wasn't like over 40, which I would say is probably not traditional age to have a baby in. But I felt like they sort of like started prepping you for it then. And I like I said, it kind of became this thing that you were like, okay, this is a possibility of happening. Like,
right.
Which is why you don't
and
really
after
tell
12
people
weeks, you're okay.
Well, that's what I say. That's why you don't really tell people until 12 weeks that you're even pregnant.
Right.
which is the strangest time
Yeah, and I think
because you like have this huge secret and you're just like interacting with people and you're like,
Pretending to drink.
yeah, and your
This
alcoholic
is so
wife is
good.
not drinking and you're like, why isn't she drinking? You're like, no reason, you know.
Oh, tough night.
Yeah. Because you're like, because I'm drinking and she's driving, and you start drinking a lot more, and then you develop your issue, you know. So whatever it is,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, I think it's, I think when I saw, well, I'll say this too. Like, I saw the Chrissy Teigen thing, and knew that you were going to see it, but felt like I didn't know if I was like, if that was a thing that I sent. Should I send that to you? Do I not send that to you? I was like going to send it. And then I just got distracted by something else entirely, to be honest with you.
Probably.
now
a
is the
cocktail.
message to not be shy about talking about it? That's, I mean, so
Yes.
if Anthony would have sent it to you, would that have been welcomed?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Oh,
Like,
there you go. Okay.
I think like the biggest misconception is that you don't mention what happens to the person, or you don't talk about it.
To the person.
Right. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to say anything to Janine about her baby dying because that's going to make her upset. But it's totally opposite. I mean, all the research that I've read too, and the people that I've talked to, that is the biggest thing that they like on top of the list, pet peeve.
Yeah. Well, I noticed
So-
you've mentioned it too when we were at like the events. Like, we have to talk about this. We have to make it okay to say the baby died and, you know,
Right.
all that stuff. But in my defense, I just don't really like talking to you guys outside of doing this anyway. So there's
Well,
also
I know.
that.
That's true. Yeah, you think my internet's kicking me off. I think it's just you hitting some button that knocks me off whenever you don't want to hear me anymore.
Right. Instead of that drop chair, there's a disconnect internet button.
Speaking of which, they're actually, Janine, to follow up on our last episode, they are actually going to give the moderator of the next presidential debate the ability to turn off their microphone, just like we
I
talked
did
about.
see that.
Isn't
I
that
did see
crazy?
that.
Amazing.
See?
While I was watching the first one, I was like, that's what they should be doing.
Yes.
Shut the mic. That's a great idea.
Wait, say
We'll
that
see
again,
when
Frank?
that's going to be.
Frank, say that again.
No, I was saying that
I can't believe he walked into that because I just turned off his mic. I cannot believe he walked right into that. Yeah.
Oh,
how would I
Frank.
know you're doing that?
Oh, Frank. Frank.
Yeah, you're back now.
Frank.
You can say that about anybody. You shut off anybody's mic. I can't. I have no control over that.
Oh,
Well, that's the
jerk.
thing. That's the thing. No, you just actually executed a really good point, which is like people are like, they're still going to be screaming in the moment. They have to put a monitor that they have to, so that they know that their mic is turned.
Yes.
You know, they know that they're off. Which
like
how
a
do you?
red screen, like you're not talking.
Yeah, I don't know. Put them in
And no
booths
one's
or
hearing
something.
you.
I don't know. It's weird. It's gonna be weird to see what that is. But yeah, I felt really bad for Chrissy.
Should be a
Teigen.
virtual debate.
Right.
They should do it over Zoom, right? Wouldn't that be funny? I don't think that would be a good look for Biden. He
Nah,
don't
it
seem to
wouldn't-
handle
that
those
wouldn't
things all that great.
Hey, how do you turn this on?
Who's talking to me now? I saw the thing about that the shot of her on the bed. Oh my god! I gotta say something for you, for her. You're stronger people than I, because I couldn't do this. This wouldn't
Thank
be
you.
me. I couldn't do it.
No.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be totally honest. I couldn't do that.
I can't see. That's the one she was getting the epidural.
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah.
There's two of her getting the epidural.
That is not an easy thing, I
No.
imagine.
I don't even know. Like,
No.
if I'm John, I'm assuming John took this photo. I don't even know if
Yeah.
I could take this photo if I'm John. I don't know if she told him to take it, or I don't know what the process was. But like you said, there is this natural thing that when you go through these things, you have this natural, like, I want to share.
I want to speak to someone who's been through this.
Yeah. And just like fight
I
or
wanna
flight,
share.
some people get that fight response of, no, let's, you get into the mud of it all. You take the picture. We're going to share, like that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
other people don't. you know, and
Yep.
she's definitely one of those people that are in the fight, not flight sort of end of it.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm sure her post has helped someone, even though there are people out there who are posting negative things. I'm sure her posting that has brought some tiny bit of comfort to someone going through it.
Yes, I think so too, Frank.
Has to.
by the way, so like I'm just looking at it, there are over 500,000 comments on it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Crazy.
And she's gotten over 10 million likes on it alone. She has 32 million followers. How long did you spend looking at comments, Gene?
Oh God. I was like, okay, maybe I need a beer after this. I'd say probably an hour.
That's a long time.
That is too long for me.
I would say that if
I can't look at these comments for that long.
Exactly.
I was going to say if I didn't do this and want to interact with the great people that that want to interact back with the show, I wouldn't be reading comments ever anywhere for any reason. I would just never be doing it. It's not a healthy healthy thing.
Why people feel that they're able to just tear someone down just because they're on their computer or something. I don't know what.
Yep.
You
Big
wouldn't
man behind
do
the
that
computer.
in real life. Yeah, you
Right.
wouldn't go up to the person in real life and start saying something.
Right.
That anonymity that lets them do it. That gives them some kind of weird, strange courage. I don't know. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just finishing up a comment here.
Exactly.
I wish the middle guy.
What are you doing?
I wish the guy in the middle would just shut up already. Send. Okay. Sorry.
Good comment.
Anything
You
else?
control my mic.
That's right.
If it wasn't for the gag, I would never ever turn it off. Anything else you want to say to wrap it up, Janine, on this?
Just if this has happened to you, please speak about it because we need more people to speak about it.
All right. You want to send me a thing that we'll put in the description that people can
Sure.
add more information or talk to you or do whatever you want to do. Okay.
Definitely.
Right. So look for that in the description of this episode, for sure. And it is, what was the month again? What did you call it?
October, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month.
Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month.
Yes.
And I'm just going to talk to you as a marketing guy here. That's going to need a little bit of work. That's a big one.
Oh God.
That's a big.
Yes, it is.
It's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. Pregnancy.
That's what she said.
What's the acronym for that? Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. PALM?
Yeah, there you go. Oh.
PAILAM.
All right. Pregnancy
Thank
and
you,
loss. This is like Humans of New York. It took me 4 episodes to get that down.
I bet you it's written right in a piece of paper right in front of you right now. Humans of New York. Humans of New York.
All right. Don't forget to visit our sponsors, Hero Soap Company. This is the company started by a veteran for veterans. If you buy a bar of soap from them, which is the best soap I have ever had in my entire life, they will send a bar of soap to the troops. Also, proceeds from the soap sales go to Operation Finally Home, which builds mortgage-free homes for veterans after they've served for our country and sacrificed their lives for us. So please do that. Just speaking from a soap standpoint, there are no parabens in these soaps. It is made with all natural ingredients. There's no chemicals, dyes, or fragrances. So the spearmint smells like spearmint because it's spearmint. And so does the peppermint and all of their incredible things. I stuck this.
I looked it up. I looked it up, and parabens are like unnatural preservatives.
Unnatural preservatives.
Look at this one. Scientist over here.
Yeah. Which is so great about the subscription, because it's not like you go buy like 20 of these things and just stick them in the thing. Just sign up for the subscription and they'll send it to you, as they're making them, so they're fresh. I put it in my bathroom. I use it every day. This is what I use to wash, and my entire bathroom and subsequently bedroom smells so lovely.
Oh.
It's a shame we are in quarantine, because I can't wait to smell you.
Oh, Frank, we're not still in quarantine.
Oh,
All right. Let
Quad-
freedom clean is there. Little saying there.
quarantine.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry, I talked over you, Frank. Let freedom clean is there saying. And of course, 20% off the subscription by using the promo code Anthony. Click the link in the description or the banner at anthonyonair.com. So we are going to watch The Social Dilemma and review that in an upcoming episode. And we're also going to do the Humans of New York bonus episode. We'll do an entire episode just around that one story that we've been talking about. It'll be all in depth on that. It'll be an extra episode, so we'll still be doing our normal things. Keeping our eye
No
out.
extra charge for that extra one.
No extra charge whatsoever. We're keeping our eye out for that Ghislaine document dump. And like I said, this episode will likely be demonetized and perhaps shadow banned. So sharing this episode is going to go a long way. And also, if you can click on one of the episodes in the cards, we're going to put only episodes that are monetized in there. That will go and help us out for sure to keep putting out these awesome podcasts. AnthonyOnAir.com has all the other links. We'll see you on the next episode.